Hey there, welcome to Drew Bentley Guitar. Today let's take a look at major, minor, and dominant. What do those terms mean and how can we apply this to your jazz playing and your guitar playing in general? Okay, major, minor, and dominant. Let's start with dominant first. What does that mean? This is the dominant seventh chord. It's a root, a third, a fifth, and a flat seven. It sounds like this. It has a tense sound to it. It's very tense. The major seven chord has a raised seventh, and it sounds a little different. It's happier. The minor seven chord is a flat third and a flat seven, and that's sadder. So we'll get to those emotions here in a moment. Let's take a look at the key of G, for example. If we did this with triads first in a simpler form, one chord is major, two is minor, three is minor, four is major, five is major, six is minor, seven is this diminished triad, and then back to major again. But if we make these seventh chords instead, we have major seven, minor seven, minor seven, major seven, a dominant five chord. The sixth chord is minor, and the seventh chord is something called a half diminished chord, and back to major again. So they changed when you added that extra layer. It's called an extension. So here's how this works. Basically, it's emotional, just like the triads are, but in Western music, major is happy, and minor is sad. There's a distinct emotional difference there. However, the seventh chords, I think, are a little more grown up. They're a little more like adult kind of emotions, sort of like the way that things become a little more complex when you're a grown up. So the dominant chord is tense sounding. It sounds like it's stuck in traffic. And the tension is due to this thing called a tritone right here in the middle. This tritone is very tense sounding. It sounds like it's full of angst. The major seven is happy, but it's raining. It's kind of like an adult happiness, right? You can be very, very happy, but you're aware of things in the world that aren't so great. You're aware of, I don't know, hunger and starvation, et cetera, et cetera. So you can't always be completely blissful like you were when you were 4 years old. The minor seven chord is sad, but the sun is shining. And much the same as the emotions with the major. When you're an adult, you're not always as sad as maybe you were whenever you were brutally sad when you were little, because you have this thing called an established faith or an established, I don't know, sort of acumen. You become stronger as a person, and you have more things to be thankful for. You're full of gratitude. So sadness is not nearly as extreme. And that sort of seems to be what's happening with learning these chords. When I was younger, I was all about like playing, I don't know, rock music. Not that I don't now, but for example, like I remember seeing jazz guitar for the first time. Right about the same exact time I acquired a taste for coffee at 19 years old, I acquired a taste for jazz guitar. I'd gone to school and I saw these jazz guitar players play for the first time in front of me, and I was absolutely blown away. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I was like, I want to do that. I thought I was great because I could play Funk 49. And I walk into the school and then these professional jazz players are playing these amazing things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what are they doing here? And it was like another world of expression I'd never seen before. So these seventh chords are really useful. They're used obviously in jazz tunes, but they're also used a lot in like the yacht rock songs, Chicago or Steely Dan, even Fleetwood Mac. Lots of bands that have sort of these more advanced chords, Doobie Brothers, Hall Notes, full of these kind of chords. So here's how this works functionally. I'm going to stand up and show you how this works. We have something called a guide tone. So if you look at the seventh chord again, starting here, root third, fifth, flat seven. This is the seventh and that's the third. Those are called the guide tones. There's a couple videos on the channel about guide tones you want to check out for a deeper dive. Now, if you look at these two notes here, they're very tense. They're tense sounding. That's called a tritone, the Diabolus in Musica. Now, however, if I play a major seven, I'm going to raise this note to here. See, the guide tone's changed to that. Now it has the major seven sound to it. But if I take the same dominant seventh chord and I flat the third, now I get a minor seven. So the guide tones are what's changing for these, from dominant to major to minor. However, the chord progressions don't work like that. That's called a parallel movement when you're doing everything off the same root note. The chords are going to work in a key. That's how they function. So let's take a look at that. In the key of C major, C is the 1 chord. The primary chords, the 4 chord is F major 7, and the 5 chord would be like G7. Again, 1, 4, 5. The 2, 4, 6 would be D minor 7 is the 2 chord. The 3 chord, is the E minor 7, and the 6 chord is A minor 7. So you have primary and secondary chords. The primary chords are major, and the 5 chord is dominant in the case of the 7th chords, and the minor chords would be the secondary chords, would be minor. So now, in a progression, if you look at rhythm changes, I talk about rhythm changes all the time on this lesson channel. I've got rhythm, or Flintstones. That's 1, 6, 2, 5. These 7th chords find a home where they fit. You can see that. So if I play this 2-5 progression, the 2 chord is minor, the 5 chord is dominant, the 1 chord is major. See, they function, they have a space. And look at the guide tones. Okay, check this out. Let's look at the guide tones again. I'll stand up for this again. This is the minor 7 chord. These are the guide tones. See this? And these are the guide tones for the dominant chord. Here's the guide tones for the major chord. Whoa, that's amazing. And check this out. That's the 7th and that's the 3rd. But then it goes to 3rd and 7th. They flip-flop. And then it's the 7th and the 3rd again. So it goes like 7th, 3rd, 7th, 3rd, and the other one's 3rd, 7th, or 7th. That is absolutely amazing thing happening there. If you add the 3 chord to it too, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, like that. I've just went through this whole kind of key, 2, 5, 1. So we can cycle through the whole key. Now I should mention that you can make everything dominant if you wanted to, but that's for a different lesson. I'll do a lesson on that too. But so the 7th chords are just more a grown-up sound. They are more, I don't know, adult-like, I suppose. I think they're compelling. I think that they are engaging, and they make me want to listen to music, and they're really kind of haunting and expressive. I love the sound. Sort of the 7th chord is sort of the dividing line between playing rock or simplistic kind of sounding stuff. Not simplistic, but more, I don't know, basic, and something that's more expansive, like a jazz type sound. The 7th chord seems to be right in the middle of that kind of dividing line. Now the 9th chord is also usable for rock songs, or the 13th chord, or a major 7, and you can do like a major 9, like, that's actually an add 9. I could do like a major 13 chord like this, if I did something like that. You can add these extensions and make them bigger and still use those. So it's like a minor 9 for rock songs, but basically 7ths are the starting point for that. And then if you add the 9th, 11th, 13th, it's just kind of like gravy. It's an addition to that, but the guide tones are what makes the difference. That's what determines whether it's a triad or a 7th chord. The triads have a 3rd, they don't have a 7th. The 3rd is important for the triad. It's equally as important for the 7th chord, but in conjunction with the 7th as well, because those are the guide tones. So major, minor, and dominant. Dominant's tense, major's happy but a little bit sad, minor's sad but a little bit happy. They have a place they fit in the keys, and if you look at like a jazz tune, here's Misty. Here's a 2-5, it's minor, it's dominant, that's major. It's minor, that's dominant. It's major, that's minor, that's minor, that's dominant, that's minor, that's dominant, that's minor, that's dominant. So if you go through your real book, take a look at your jazz tunes, you're going to see pretty much the entire thing is full of these 2-5 ones, or just look for major, minor, and dominant. You'll see other things too, like extensions, like with alterations, like a 7 sharp 9. You might see a sharp 9 or a flat 9, and that's cool. But those chords are nothing more than a 7th chord with something else added to it to give it even more of attention to it, like these other outside notes, which make it sound even more jazzy, I suppose. Even more jazzy. They have an extension, like an alteration in them. All right, well, that's the way that these chords work, so hopefully that is helpful for you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do. I'm trying to get lessons out as much as I can. And thank you so much for checking out the video, and I'll see you at the next lesson.